A little late, but better than never. So, questions? How's opening and closing coming? Problems? No progress?
Well, I've just really been focusing on the dantian, and sometimes it feels like it's pulling every into close and pushing everything open, and sometimes it doesn't. But the times it does, it feels nice. It's, oh yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
Good.
But
Okay. Mr. Bynum?
Yeah, I've been squeezing in practices amongst having most of our family here for pretty much until yesterday.
Aha.
But yeah, I have focused on that some, and it's still the Dantian piece is still elusive for me. Not not invisible, but elusive.
Sure. You're not alone, Bill. Mr. Nagel?
Um, it's coming. I, the one area is that's kind of absent is the lower dantian for me. Interestingly, I have what seems like a firm connection with the claw right now, and with the rest of the areas that need to be opened, but I don't have as strong a connection to at least that I know about, that I can sense to the lower dantian. So that.
So we're going to continue with a focus on the lower dantian today, but I think what I would say probably for all of you is that you're not bad people because you don't have an immediate strong feeling, although you've all been practicing for quite a while. But it's interesting that this place, which is so important to every every function in the body, is one that everybody seems to have some difficulty being clearly aware of initially. Eventually it comes. But I completely understand, and I just want to encourage you not to give up on feeling it, because it's essential that you do so, ultimately.
So when we do smaller, in quotes, exercises, uh, trying to energize the connection with the lower dantian, I can feel that more readily, but in the mix of other things, it just goes away. Yeah.
So is it, that's one of, I suppose that's one of the problems about studying opening and closing piece by piece like this. And I think all I can say really is that I think as we continue, and we're going to spend some time with the lower dantian, that that awareness will improve. I don't know. Carol probably remembers. I don't know if Bill does or not. Jay, for a while, had his Dantian challenge because one of the first times I saw Master Joe at the farm, he at one point took his shirt off, lay down on the floor. Actually, I think that day he used a dime on his abdomen at the point of his lower dantian, and then energetically threw it 2 feet into the air. So that's being really aware and focused on your lower dantian so you can use it, and that's really it has that kind of power. Not that you necessarily need to be able to do that. Not very many people can. Jay can, but not very many people can. I can't do 2 feet. But it is important. Every Qigong practice in China uses the lower dantian, and there are some that focus on the middle dantian, but they also include the lower dantian in their practice. So your lower dantian is like a switch box through which every energy that moves through every channel in your body has to go through. By strengthening that, you strengthen all the channels in your body. By weakening that, you weaken all of the channels in your body. And if you want to really be able to coordinate the qi from one part of your body to another, your lower dantian is going to be central to that process. So, just to emphasize a little bit about how important that is. So let's try a kind of an interesting exercise. I will ask you to stand. You don't need a lot of room, but you do. And step out into your basic structure. Just really take a moment to be aware of connecting down to the earth and up to the heavens. Breathing. And you can use either longevity breathing or reverse breathing, whatever you're comfortable with at this point. And rather importantly, that you extend your mind through your body. So you're really feeling what's happening inside your body. All the way from the crown of your head to the bottoms of your feet. And then focusing on your lower dantian, your pelvis, I want you to allow your weight to begin to shift between the ball of your foot and the back of your foot. And you want it to be very smooth. You want smooth transitions, changing direction. If you lose your balance at all, you've shifted too far. Just be really aware of your lower dantian at the center of this movement. And as your dantian goes forward, it closes. And you want to have a sense of bringing your energy up your legs to your lower dantian. And obviously, when you shift your weight back onto your heels, onto Shimian, I want you to have the sense of opening your lower dantian and sending its energies down into your heels. Closing as you go forward, opening as you come back. And as you go forward, that closing is pulling the energy up into the lower dantian. As you shift back, that opening is dropping the energy, pushing it down your legs, to your heels and into the earth. The upper half of your body is strongly affected by the lower dantian, but the lower half of your body is really controlled by the lower dantian. Very smoothly closing forward, opening backwards. And you have to get your lower dantian to open and close in coordination with that movement. And as you begin this work with the legs and the lower dantian, you may only get your flow down to the middle of your thighs or around your knees, but it will grow with practice. The point is that you're getting used to the opening and closing of your lower dantian and moving the qi through the rest of your body. All right, so you can pause and relax, sit down for a minute. And tell me what you could or could not feel.
That was interesting because for me, if I was hearing you right and doing it right, it was sort of counter. I was doing reverse breathing, so when I was leaning forward, it was on the exhale, and I was on the balls of my feet, not really leaning, but just shifting. And going back was the inhale. Let me let me stop this thing.
You could reverse that.
Um, and you said we were sending our from the Dantian down when we're on our heels and up into the Dantian forward, which seemed kind of counter cyclical to the reverse breathing and the yang feeling with the exhale, uh, and the yin with the inhale. But so it seemed like the energy is going down the back of the leg from the Dantian back on the inhale when everything else is sort of in terms of extending and opening. It's more the closing and extending in.
So,
I was wondering if I had it all backwards, but I was doing what I just described, and it was very meditative. So
were you feeling the movement of the energy and the lower dantian?
well, well, I think I was to a certain extent because I was definitely feeling the energy going into the in through my heels, down, and then feeling it coming up through the front part of the leg. And again, that it's sensation of the dantian is elusive, but I that's where it was going to. So
Mm-hmm. So, I think one of the things I would say is, as I mentioned, you could play with reversing your reverse breathing.
hmm
We tend to get locked into one way of doing things, and one of the things we discover in this is that actually in the end you could do your reverse breathing both ways and move the energy the way you want to. So it's a matter of not allowing yourself to be too attached to only one way of doing it. And as the obviously the important part here is the opening and closing of the dantian and the movement of the energy through the legs. So if you're feeling that in the right directions, then you're doing fine. Carol or Bill?
Well, once you said that the toes were the closing and the heels were the opening, the 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 opening was very clear. It was the dantian moving the energy down. The closing wasn't as clear, pulling up. In some ways, I wanted it all to be coming from the back. Not his toes were just wrong. not exactly that. Just
Yeah, not as strong.
and not as strong, not as connected.
Hmm. So one of the things to remember is that, of course, is that the bubbling well is perhaps the most open point in the body for the rising energy from the earth. And Shimeon at the heel is the most open point that allows sinking of the energy. So that, of course, is why we're working with those two directions. It's
Perhaps I was going too far forward, so it was getting to be more on the toes rather than the bubbling well.
could be because that's easy to do. Yeah. It's a pretty subtle movement, as I would imagine you've discovered in other practices where we are already doing this.
And when I opened my eyes and looked at us, you couldn't see any of us moving. I couldn't see any of us moving at all.
Yeah, no, the movement is very subtle. And it has to come from the lower dantian. If it comes from some other part of the body, it doesn't work. At least it doesn't work as well. Certainly. Mr. Daigle?
Is that always the case that the heels will be open? The Dantian heel connection will be the opening. In whatever we do in Tai Chi, will that always be the case?
Well, you never say always in Tai Chi.
Okay. All right.
If you think about just the basic macrocosmic circuit in the body,
Yeah.
then that's what we're, to some extent, certainly working with at the moment.
Okay.
And that the energy coming up is coming up the inside of the leg. Principally, you can also feel it in the front of the leg and in the lower part of the body. As it goes down, it's going down the outside of the leg and the back of the leg. So we're working here with the basic flow that we have worked with from the very beginning of our training.
Okay. Yeah. In any case, in answer to what was going on, I could clearly feel the energy going down the back of my leg through the knee cavity and petered out a little bit when it got to the feet. Late in the exercise, I also suddenly became aware of the energy in my arms and hands when I was opening the legs. That was equal to what was going on in the legs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're actually moving into the next step here, which is fun.
But we've been so focused on the upper body that that's coming almost automatically. You start thinking opening and closing, and the arms it just starts opening and closing. So
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about it at all.
yeah, right? No, it just does it.
Yeah. Great. As it should. So that's exactly what I'd like you to do, is to go back into that movement, but don't only focus on moving energy from the dantian to the feet, or as far down as you can, but include all the energies that we have, all the opening and closings we've worked on so far. And you don't have to go through them one at a time, whatever works for you, but I want you to begin to feel the connection of all of those to what you're doing with the legs. Okay? So just try that. Just establish your smooth flow forward and back. Be aware of as much of the energy flowing through the legs and into and out of the lower dantian as it opens and closes. And whenever you're ready, see if you can include the other items we worked on previously. I want you to step out into a bow stance and go into the dynamic sphere, including shifting forward and back, and see if you can do what you were just doing, but with movement now. And then reverse to the other side. So step forward with the other foot and see if that is different. Or can you do just the same? And close this and step back. And I want you to choose one movement from God's and see if you can do all of this with that. It can be any movement you'd like to work with. All right, so close and relax. So, how did those work?
I thought I was doing before, and I thought it worked quite well, actually. Um, but it also indicated that I haven't been paying, uh, certainly not regular attention, if any attention, to the weight shift
Mm-hmm.
that's involved. And I found myself thinking that I may have been doing it backwards. Um,
Yeah, good.
so but as far as what we were doing this morning, it felt good. I've been working on Heaven and Earth, so the weight shift is now a little bit more forward in my mind. So
Good.
um,
Yeah,
this fits right in. So
great. That's good.
It was clearer and easier doing. I also did four. I think we all did, didn't we? Um, um, Partly because the last time one time I practiced four, I had a strong sense of the Dantian driving it, so I thought, okay, let's go with that.
Yeah,
Not quite as strong, but again, the more of the awareness of the weight change, which I hadn't paid attention to, and it felt smoother.
mm-hmm.
Uh, Chance of Chin. Once I finally decided, okay, the feet are different, doing different things. I mean, I can only pay attention to one arm and one leg at a time. I can't figure
Right,
out what's going on the other side,
right.
and and on one foot was clearly weighted in a way that didn't match what was going on with the opens and closes. So sort of trying to focus on whichever leg was matching what the arm was doing, and then it worked nicely.
Hmm. Good, good.
So
For me, the asymmetry and the Zen, uh, my mind just couldn't get wrapped around it very well. It was sort of sketchy in terms of what we're talking of, in terms of what we're talking about. I'd grab it for an instant and then it'd be messed up, and then try it again. But doing the guides for was really good, and I have been all along trying to pay attention to that weight shift. Um, but having a different intention with the Dantian and with forward uh,
Mm-hmm.
driving up and up to the Dantian and uh, weighted slightly back, driving it down that's a big change, and it's much more. It feels more intentional. Uh,
Good.
'Cause I think what I was doing with the weight shift before was shifting forward and feeling like everything is young and going out and going back and feeling like everything is yin coming in,
yep,
So
yep.
this changes that. Uh,
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. So certainly sounds like some growing awareness. um, uh, this, I think this is a really good exercise to spend a little time with if you can, because it and to you can obviously go on into the other postures in God's and begin to be aware of how the weight shift should go in there. It's really sometimes eye opening to get things to all work together.
I was just thinking, okay, we're going to move up to the head, and the eyes are going to open.
Well, there is that too.
Like in some of the animal frolics.
Ah, yes.
Growling and sticking our tongue out.
That's
David,
not quite
I
that.
have a question that has nothing to do with what we're doing this morning, but why did we dispense with movement one? I know we did, but it suddenly occurred to me that I don't know why.
Because Bruce told us to. Well,
To make room for movement 7?
yeah, actually, in a way, yes. Um, I think that it was because movement one was had a somewhat different intention than the rest, in that it was focused on teaching us kind of basically what was going to happen throughout the other postures,
Okay.
and um, really it is, if you think through 2 to 7, um, there really isn't a need for what you're doing in one.
Yeah.
I don't
Um,
remember what we were doing in 1. We dropped it and it's gone.
yeah, you don't need to hold on to it at this point. But it's certainly a good question. I think it's a really good place to begin. It opens up a lot of awareness, and I think that's what its intention is.
Okay. I tried to do it a few times and realized that I was doing it differently than I recalled. That there was more energy involved.
Yeah,
So thank you.
yeah. So that's really all I have this morning. Any other questions or thoughts? Any of you would like to throw in here? Okay. Well, have a good week and um, do a lot of shifting from your toes to your heels and back.
Or perhaps from the bubbling well to the heels.
Now there's a
It,
thought.
it worked much better when I didn't shift all the way onto my toes.
Yep.
Then it just felt like it was really flowing as opposed to.
Yep. And that is a lesson we have to learn where that range is for you, and becoming aware, because eventually you will feel that energy going up through the bubbling well and going down through Shimeon. You may not at the moment be aware of that, but eventually you will. So having recognizing that's what you're endeavoring to do is a good thing. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good week.
That's you
Thank
too,
you.
everyone.
Take care.
You too. Say hi to Madeline.
Yes. And I don't have any form questions. I've done a little bit, but
Okay.
one one of the things that at All Souls, I'm in a group called Everyday Spiritual Practice,
Hmm.
which this is, and one of the suggestions, because we were not meeting during the summer, was that we light a candle and say something before the practice, and then extinguish it at the end. And I've been doing that with
Oh, nice.
gods, and kind of begin Tai Chi, addressing the earth as an opening.
Yeah.
I haven't come up with words for a closing, but
There are
it's been
lots of them. There are lots of them.
lots of words, but I don't have to.
Yeah.
So that's been nice.
Good. Good idea.
Yeah. Well, we used to do it all the time in the basement, I would always light a candle and but when I'm sometimes on the deck and then sometimes in the living room, and
Yeah.
not so regularly in the same place. So.
Well,
Okay.
hope John continues to progress.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you know Carol Glode?
Yes. Did? Is she? Is she?
She's still around. No, her husband has completed his initial chemo treatment for his. He has the nasty cancer, but
Pancreatic.
yeah, and they said in the CAT scan that there was no sign of it remaining.
Oh,
Doesn't
that's
mean
wonderful.
it doesn't mean it's not there, but apparently,
You
but
can't see it.
they can't see it. So it was really successful and to some extent. So
Now he just has to recover from the treatment.
it's been 12 months, 12 treatments, and every month he had to recover from the treatment. They were not pleasant, I gather.
Yeah.
So, I might mention that World Tai Chi Day, not World Tai Chi Day, the next Rick Barrett is going to be October 18th, and it's going to be in Coventry at George Hoffman's. And I'll have more information.
I won't be able to do that. That's my daughter is arriving on the 17th, and my mom's funeral is on the 20th. So
Oh dear. Oh,
or a celebration of life, however you want to put it, 21st rather.
yeah. Well,
So
you're going to be busy.
I'm going to be busy, and this is daughter and two of the grandsons from Canada. So if they're
Oh.
here, that's where my attention totally is.
I can understand that. Okay, just thought I'd share that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I ought to supposedly throw out too on the. Should have said it earlier on the video. Next week is the beginning of a new session, and I hope you have a good week.
Thank you. I hope you do too.
Yeah. Are you getting to rest more with John not there?
Sort of. Though I'm getting. I don't. I think I better answer this. So, yeah, but I gotta go.
Okay. Take care, Carol.
Hello. Hi, Mary. You?